basically what we're going to do today is some paragraph shrinking, and I know we've done it before, but remember the purpose is sometimes we see these big huge articles, or we see a whole section or a whole chapter of a book, and I know we've even went over it before. How do you know what to write down? How do you know what's important? How do you know what to put into your notes? So we're going to practice our 4 basic steps to help us figure out what is important to include in our notes. Since we've been talking about earthquakes, we are going to paragraph shrink an article first about the San Francisco earthquake in 1906. And we'll start out the first paragraph I will do, but we'll read it together as a class like we normally do. Remember, I leave out a word, you fill it in. So on the morning of April 18th, 1906, a massive
earthquake
shook San Francisco,
California.
Though the quake lasted less than a minute, its immediate impact was disastrous. The earthquake also ignited several
fires
around the city that burned for
3
days and destroyed nearly 500 city
blocks.
Okay, so step 1, look over there, we got our paragraph shrinking poster. Look at step number 1. Alex, can you tell us what we do on step number 1?
Name the who or the what.
Okay, so I am going to name the who or the what. If I were to look back over that paragraph, I think that my what would be this massive earthquake that shook San Francisco. So I write on step 1. San Francisco earthquake is my what? Then step number 2, Daniel, can you tell me what step number 2 is?
Most important details about who or what.
Okay, looking at the details about my San Francisco earthquake. Well, I see that it's massive. I see that the date's probably important, when it happened. I see it's less than a minute. But my impact is disastrous, so it's going to start a fire, burn 3 days, and destroy 500 city blocks. So lots of details about my what. Then step number 3, if you look over at the poster, Morgan, what is step number 3?
The gist and 12 words or less.
Okay, good. The gist in 12 words or less. Do I have a lot of info to try to cram into 12 words or less?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so now I need to start thinking, what is truly my most important facts? And I'll just start making a sentence. Remember when we've talked about this before, do you worry about the 12 words or less right now? No, you just write your facts. Put it in a sentence. Joseph, you want to count my words?
21.
21, ooh. So, then we start cutting down. Do you think lasted less than a minute? Is that super important? No, probably not. Now count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 14. 14, that's probably about as what we can get down to. That's okay. Then I would write my sentence all the way down here, then remember we transfer it into our notes. So you take that whole paragraph and you put it into one sentence.